Welcome to Infennite Conversations. And once again, it's me, Infinity, in the vicinity, bringing to you a very special guest, a very close and dear friend of mine. She's been around for a while. She's just dropped some new music recently that is definitely worth checking out. We're going to discuss today. And don't get in the way. She will put a spell on you. It's Hextape. What's good?
Hello.
Hello. Oh man. Well, you know, we're here. This is round two. For those of you who don't know, she was on my first season when it was the archaic audio only, and now we had to bring the visual to life. What has been up these days?
Um, just been working and I've been making music. No, I'm so nervous. I'm all nervous. Um, I released an EP recently and I've been writing. I haven't recorded anything right now. I might chill because I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna work on my YouTube channel for a little bit and then I'll come back to music.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, and you do things for so long, like it's very common for us Gemini folks to do lots of different things, and we bounce around from one passion to the next. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to keep focused sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like me, like I still make music occasionally, but it's like it's not where my mind's at right now. You know what I mean? And it's, if I'm not getting the enrichment from what I'm doing, then I'm not going to stay focused on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like yeah, I have to have different ways to express myself. And I don't know. I feel like I kind of got like brainwashed into thinking I only need to do music for a little while. And I feel like that's kind of like stopped me from being creative like in a whole. So, yeah, I'm trying to get back to everything because I have a lot of stuff I like to do.
Yeah. I know that you want to start doing more photography stuff. That's definitely been a
Mhm.
passion of yours over the years. So, I mean, it's I'm the same way. I do this, I make music, you take photos, and and I've started to learn how to balance it all, and that's been a very difficult thing for me, is like learning the patience to say, okay, I'm going to work on this right now, and then I've got a schedule to do this later, because like I have to write it down or I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I have a lot of to-do lists for everything.
Same. I'm a very structure oriented person. It's like, and being the autistic wizard that I am, if something, the biggest thing for me is routine. And if my routine is broken, then oh man, everything else flies to hell. So
Yeah, I have trouble staying on a routine. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think I just have too much going on in my head sometimes. I'm just thinking about doing everything instead of doing it, and
yeah,
that fucks me up. So,
hell is in my head. What do
exactly.
those words mean to you?
I'm going crazy all the time.
Yeah, that is a ancient hex tape song, you know.
I don't know. I forgot about that song. I like that song. I feel like it's good. Or it was just like obviously like a song about like being suicidal and depression and stuff. So I don't know. I'm happy I got over that.
Yeah, and I study artist catalogs a lot, and I mean it's I see the evolutions in people through their music. Like everyone has different phases. We create what we create is based on what is affecting us at the moment. Like I mean, I had a really good conversation with the artist Tundra Main about that. He was like, "Yeah, man, when before I became Tundra Main, I was Heavy Sins, and back then I was like." Drinking a lot, and like I just wasn't in a good headspace, and I eventually grew out of that. I just got tired of like being stuck in that loop, and like
Mm.
completely changed the way I started making music. And I was like, man, I really resonate with what that means, because I see that a lot with people. Like everybody's like, oh, I want the old blah 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 back, and it's like that person's not that person anymore. We are always changing and growing.
Yeah, why would you not want people to like be happier, do better, like grow? I don't know, it's really weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. A lot of people are very very weird about it, almost kind of gatekeepy in a sense, like they want to hold people back versus like let them move forward in their lives, you know. And I feel like that's like
Yeah.
a very big thing and like what makes like artists go mad sometimes, you know, in a sense. Like it
Or
would drive
stay
me
in drug
crazy.
addictions and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like
like
that.
I mean, if I had 30,000 followers and they were all like bitching at me because I put music out or interviews out or whatever that like they didn't like, I'd be like pretty upset about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna not do this shit because being is stuck in a negative void is not for me. You know, I've been there and done that. Like addiction isn't cool. Like depression sucks, you know? Like
Yeah.
these aren't things to be glorified, you know?
Yeah, I think about taking my old stuff down all the time because I'm talking about like sometimes I talk about drugs or like some of my like depression stuff. I think about taking it down all the time because I'm like I don't feel that way anymore. And I don't know. I feel weird that I ever even like talked about drugs because like I I don't know. I only did them when I don't know. I feel
It's a
like
lot.
I'm not as experienced as other people, even though I did do some stuff.
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean, everyone's perspective on experience is different. You know, like, you know, the way things affect me affect you completely differently. You know what I mean? So, like, no one can say like anyone's experience is invalid. I feel like that'd be
yeah,
like saying, "Oh, you don't smoke fucking weed." And I'm like, dude, I fucking smoked weed for 10 years, and like, you know, it's just not cool anymore. That's why I don't do it. It doesn't treat me right and gives me anxiety. You know, like, it is what it is.
yeah. It's like I have songs where I'm talking about like taking pills because I'm depressed and like that actually happened. But that was just like, well, that happened. That's happened twice in my life. But I mean, that's just like just a short period of my life. So sometimes I wonder if that's like a good thing to keep up because I don't. It was just like something I went through, not like something I want as my image, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also like for those of us who know you, but also who those of you who just know you as an artist, you know what I mean? Like if you look at your music, it's almost like a series of journaling for you. You know, like at the time, like it was an expression based off of what you've done. You know, it's not like this is set in stone of who I am, you know? Like
Yeah,
I mean, like that's why I said the progression, you know, like I mean, everything you've made is always different, you know, like I mean, I remember like Kiss the Boys, you know, like
I love that.
when yeah, dude, like hardcore Hextape, like you know what I mean? Like then you had, you know, like the older Hextape, the more wavy, like sad style, and like now we're here with the Control EP, you know, another different side of Hextape, you know, and that's like being that it's some of your first music since you've been on a low key you know tip for a while, you know, because we all have things that are going on, but like as a reemergence project, definitely 5 stars, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah. So and who I gotta know more about the production on that. Who produced what?
Um, well, Bleach engineered everything. He did the mixing and mastering.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
beats.
Oh, the beats? I had two from Melty Cannon. I had one from Fox Wedding,
Dude,
one from,
hell yeah.
and I had one from Cryptic, and then I had one from iOS. I just buy beats off Track Train or like I hit people up to be honest.
Cryptic is insane. That dude is
Yeah.
criminally slept on, you know. And Fox Wedding, mentioning Fox Wedding, you know, a very special guest that I had on a while back did a whole project with Fox Wedding, Slug
I'm
Christ,
so
Inner
sorry.
God, Inner Worm, you know. And I mean that's probably one of the most beautiful projects that guy's ever made, you know. And I mean Fox Wedding definitely killed the production on that. So
Yeah.
it's cool to see a friend of mine work with get production and have placements with interesting people from totally opposite genres. You know what I mean?
He was on tour too when I went on tour with Misery Club. At one of the stops, he was there.
Yeah, dude.
But like I'm shy, so I didn't talk to him until like after. And then I was like, "Oh my God, you're so cool!" But I don't really talk to him when I had him sitting in the green room with me. So
Yeah, I mean it's you know like I'm slightly extroverted, not like as I used to be. I used to be able to talk to anybody, but like now it's like, dude, like my social battery runs out super quick, and like I mean, like for example, at the pop-up I went to the other day, like sure I was amongst like good people and the vibes were good and like I was able to like maintain, but I've been to so many like events and occasions recently where it's just like I feel uncomfortable sometimes and like I just don't want to talk to people. And then
Yeah.
after the fact, like they'll hit me up on social media and be like, "Dude, you're super cool," and I was like, "I didn't say much." Like, like
Like, do you really? You don't even know me.
you don't know me. You just want what I got. Like, and I
Yeah,
mean,
I wish I was more outgoing.
it's a blessing and a curse. And it's gotten me to some interesting places in my career, I think. Like I've not been afraid to like hit somebody up and be like, "Hey man, like what are your thoughts on this? Would you be interested?" Because it's like indirect. Now, if it was face to face, like some people I would have been like scared shitless to even ask them. But it's like shots in the dark in the DMs. Like, it's like see who bites.
Yeah.
And life's I had a conversation with my mom recently. I was like, like the most successful people like are the biggest risk takers. You know what I mean? Because like you're not going to get anywhere by like playing it super safe all the time. Like you do have to take some like bigger calculated risks, like it's
Yeah.
like knowing your operational environment, like knowing like your capabilities matched with your goals, and like understanding like the reality of things. And like that's something I feel like over the past couple of years I've definitely, you know, been able to hone in on, you know, because it's like, dude, like it'd be cool to interview a lot of people, but then also it was like, I haven't earned the stripes to get there yet, you know?
Well, yeah, I think you have now. I think you definitely have the stripes now to do whatever.
We're
You've done
getting
so
there.
good.
I appreciate it. It's, and at the end of the day, we get our flowers when we get our flowers. You know what I mean? So, like, one day at a time, you know?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's,
I feel it though. I don't always feel like I don't know, like someone told me like yesterday that I need to like flex more and I was like I don't know. I sometimes like I have trouble thinking that I'm like good enough to flex. Or it's like I don't know, flexing's weird.
I don't know. Like, see, flexing, there's like this weird like ratio. Like, if you looked at like a pie chart, right? And let's say 90% of the pie chart is not an acceptable time to flex. You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
more you flex, the more it flexes that ego muscle and can cause people to do things and act ways they wouldn't act before. You know?
Yeah.
Like some people like, dude, they'll flex the smallest shit and think they're rock stars. And it's like, dude, you aren't shit yet. Like, slow your roll. You're doing a great job, but like, chill. you know?
Yeah. I do think I need to believe in myself a little bit more. Like and make people respect me more.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel weird to like try like flex on people, I guess. Like if I'm like comparing myself or something. But I do like to talk about but then I don't know, I get sad cuz like sometimes I want to talk about the stuff that I've done or like people that I've met and stuff because it makes me happy. But then I just don't cuz I'm scared to flex.
I mean,
I don't know.
there's nothing wrong with pride in your accomplishments and experiences. Like period. Like that's why we have those things is for us to enjoy.
Yeah.
And like, dude, like no one, I don't think anyone in this world like is drawn to people who are like incredibly braggadocious over things. Like it's honestly like one of the most off-putting things for me. Like if someone's like, "Oh, I'm so cool. Like I got this feature from this person or blah blah blah," and like this and that. Like, dude, like you're immediately like the points are going down. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like humility and grace, I feel like are fleeting qualities in the industry. And like, fortunately, in my line of business, I've met a lot of really cool people who do have that humility and grace. And it's like when I asked the questions, like the responses I were given were like perfect. You know what I mean? Like when I was expecting, oh yeah, dude, I'm the shit. Like it's like, nah, dude, like they were so nonchalant about it. I was like, yeah, dude, all right, you get it. Like, you know, and I mean, it's life's weird. you know? No one will ever appreciate your accomplishments and things as much as you should,
Yeah.
period. That's what I've learned with myself in my own journey. It's like, as long as I'm satisfied at the end of the day, I could give a fucking rat's ass what anybody else has to say, you know?
I also think it falls in line like with the law of attraction. I feel like I don't know, if you think small things are big things, then you might not get to big things because you're gonna like, I don't know, always be focused on small things. Like to me, I've like looked at the law of attraction and I've always thought like it's what I used to even like go on tour like really early and like performing. I was like, yeah, getting a house show and stuff will be cool. I'll be very thankful for it, but that's not like my goal and I feel like I deserve better because my art is good enough. So it's like, yeah, I did get a house show before I like went on tour and stuff, but I didn't like make it as big in my head because I was like, this isn't a big thing. I know like what a big thing will be. It doesn't
Oh
make
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the ratio graph of expectations and reality. You know what I mean? Like it's all about that balance. Like a wise friend of mine once told me, small-minded people focus on small-minded things,
Yeah.
but the people with the greater minds focus on the bigger picture, you know? And it's like being able to like have like, I guess we say insight or like foresight even, to be able to see like the end results and knowing what you need to do to get there, and like, staying focused without like getting too too rash about things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because some people like, dude, how many people have you seen in your lifetime? It's like they play a couple of shows and now they want 500 for the feature.
Yeah. I still haven't done a paid feature ever.
Yeah, I mean, like, and what's weird is like Slug Christ in his interviews, like, dude, you know what? He was like, I'm at the point in life. He was like, dude, I'm sick of like paid features. I'm sick of charging people. He was like, so now I'm just at the point where I only work with people I want to work with. And, like if someone catches my eye and I think they're dope, like that's cool, we're working. But other than that, like he's like, you can't put a price on my art anymore. Like it's just what it is.
I think about it all the time, but I know myself and I know that I write very personal and emotional and I don't think I could do it. Like if someone sent me a song talking about money, I have money, I have a job, but I just can't really. I
you're
don't
not
know.
you're not out here flexing, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. Like that's not who you are. Like I'm
Yeah.
not that type of person either. It's like I got a job and money, but like you don't see me out here like, oh man, I got hundreds on deck. Like who gives a fuck? Like what does that mean at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Like what is like, you know, what is the material when there is no substance?
I think it's just scary because people rob you. People like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to dox someone and find people's location.
Oh yeah.
So one
Sorry that I
time,
you, but I did it out of love.
let me tell you this story. One time, uh, I drove past this guy who was like passed out in front of his mailbox, and I thought he had a heart attack or something. So I stopped and I got out of my car and I was going to like check on him, make sure he wasn't like dead. Um, but yeah, he like got on his knees and started like walking on his knees towards me and growling and barking like a dog. And I ran back into my car.
And sped away.
Well, it was just like a scary movie. I ran to my car and got in my car, and he ran in front of my car and like slammed his hands down on the front of my car. And then I had to back up and drive away. Um, and then like like I had posted online because there were children outside. Like I posted on Facebook like, hey, like everybody needs to like watch out, watch your children because I just had this like crazy experience with a guy. It was very like made me like very uneasy and there were like kids outside. So like please be careful. And then like a week later, the guy like shows up at my house
What the
and
fuck?
he was like, "Yeah, my wife saw your post. I'm really sorry that happened." And yeah, we just looked at like the house in the background of the photos, and I knew it was like on the street because I'd seen the house before. So he just came to the house and was like, "I'm sorry, I was on K2." It was K2. He was like, "Yeah, I was on K2, and I thought you were an angel. I thought I was like driving my truck and I had wrecked in my truck, and you were an angel, and you weren't taking me to heaven, so that's why I was chasing you."
Oh my God. K2, man, you gotta watch out. People smoking lethal out here. You know, I heard an interesting K2 story from a guy I work with. He said he was in jail a long time ago with another guy that we work with, and the guy apparently had convinced like the jail that like K2 was like smoking tobacco for real cigarettes. So like they were buying it and bringing it in. And so he was like, I guess he was like agitated, and the other guy was like fiending super hard. He like knocked a steel door off the hinges to like go smoke in jail. Like this shit is crazy. You do not want to be playing with fucking bath salts and all kinds of weird shit. Just drugs aren't that cool, guys. Like,
Yeah, I'd seen someone smoke K2 and they were like trying to like be a cannibal, like eat people. He was like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm craving human flesh. I want to eat human flesh. You need to take me home. You need to like take me away because I might eat y'all at a party where
oh,
everybody's drunk.
oh shit. No,
He was
sir.
young. He was like a little kid. He was pretty young. Just doing stupid shit
Still,
at a party. So it was like,
still.
let me take you
And,
home to your mom.
and what's weird is like, so like everybody has this like stigma on PCP, you know, and how it's like this crazy, like make people like get naked and like chop people up in machetes and shit. Well, it's like, it's not necessarily the actual chemical PCP that does that. It's when people smoke formaldehyde. Like that's when they go fucking
That sounds
crazy. Cause like
horrible.
I've watched several like really good documentaries about it, and like it was actually like, you know, discovered like as a psychotherapy slash, you know, uh it was also like a painkiller, like in a sense as well, like discovered for those purposes for like surgery along with like ketamine and around the same time. And so it's like, you know, people who like are who do the real deal, they don't go ape shit crazy and like kill
Yeah.
people. You know, so bad drugs are bad. That's but yeah, it's a wild world we live in, you know.
Yeah, I'm
I,
also never gonna help anybody, even if they look like they're hurt on the side of the street. I'll have to call the cops. I'm sorry, because that was
that's
scarred
what
me.
that's what you're actually supposed to do. You're not
Yeah,
supposed to actually help people. Uh-oh, there's a cat.
yeah, that's Arrow.
Oh, hello. Oh shit, Lil Dirt P1 in the background.
Yeah, he's playing games.
Shout out Lil Dirt. That's the homie right there. We're still and by the way, we're still waiting on that album, Lil Dirt, when you go back and listen to this.
I know.
Quit
No,
playing.
it's never coming out.
No.
No, I hope so. I'm trying to get him to make more beats for me. He has some. I really like his beats a lot.
Dude, his beats were been ahead of the curve on the hyperpop wave for a long time.
Yeah,
Like
he can make some
honestly,
crazy shit.
he could have been like the OG hyperpop producer.
I'm
Like,
trying to get him to make some for my friends who are hyperpop artists. So
that's a really interesting genre of music. Like
yeah,
it's taken a while for me to acclimate to like enjoy. Like obviously like I like Go Yard, and I don't know if have you listened to Funeral?
mm, I think I've tried, but I don't know if I liked it. I can't
Funeral
remember.
Funeral's all right. He reminds me a lot of Go Yard in a sense. And you know, like there's several other artists, but like I don't know, man. It's just such crazy ass music. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes it's like the auto tune can be overdone with it, I think. But
Yeah, but
also that's
sometimes it's great.
like Sebi. Like Sebi's
Yeah,
voice is absolutely nuts, you know? And it's
yeah,
like
Sabi's so good.
he's like a weird little nerd. I love him.
Yeah, I really like Sabi. David Jody's good too. I mean, I don't know if he's exactly hyperpop. I feel like there's something else that they call him, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like music's honestly at this point in the evolution of our society musically, like you can't genre class anything anymore, honestly. Because like
Yeah.
look at the project him and Goyard put out together. It's like a fucking rock album, you know?
Yeah.
Like so like I mean like
I feel that about myself too. I'm like, I don't know what I'm making.
yeah,
I'm just making it.
yeah, like if I've known you for a long time and I still don't know what to actually classify you as, you know what I mean? You're just an artist,
Yeah.
you know? Like
I went through different things. Like at first when I started, I was listening to I started rapping on like MF Doom type beats and like boom bap and lo-fi, and I thought I was gonna be a lo-fi rapper. And then I don't know what happened. Then I was like, I want to be a cloud rapper. And then I started getting on more alternative stuff, like when more alternative beats came out.
yeah.
Because I like them. I like emo stuff. So
Yeah. The you know, I believe Fallout Boy was one of your go-to emo phase bands.
yeah, that was my favorite. I
Dude,
used to cry.
from Under the Cork Tree and Take This to Your Grave are
Yeah, those are
two
the
of the
only two. I mean, they're not the only good
they're the two
albums, but
best albums.
yeah, they're the only ones I care about, really.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Hawthorne Heights is my go-to, you know. I mean, it's something about that era. Like, I don't know, it defined an entire generation, you know, like I miss the days when I'd see people walking around with like rainbow coontail like extensions.
Wow, I miss that.
I know
Yeah,
what.
I didn't listen to Hawthorne Heights because, like, this girl who bullied me, that was her favorite band. Them and Evanescence. I don't like Evanescence either because that
That's
was
why the
my
Daredevil movie
bully's
was
band.
ass. The Daredevil movie was ass because no, everything about it was great except Evanescence was the entire soundtrack.
That's funny because I think she had a poster of that movie in her room.
Oh God. It's like, dude, like I
She
don't know.
was mean.
Isn't it wild how like people who are like assholes or bullies can like ruin like good things, you know?
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is be nice. You know, it costs 0 cents to be a decent human being, and like you don't have to like be a dick to people because you may ruin someone's potential love for something. Because if you go back and listen to Hawthorne Heights, their shit is amazing. Like, you
Yeah.
know?
I've learned to be a lot better in that now. Like I know like after like my last relationship, there was like some shows like we watched together that yeah, I like and I feel like a lot of girls go through this. Like there were shows we watched together, so it took me a while to like get back into them, but I was like, no, fuck a boy like ruining the shows that I love, the music I love, all of the stuff like that. And that's for everybody. If you break up with someone, don't let them ruin all the stuff you like.
Yeah, own that shit and like keep loving it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I got to ask this question now. You mentioned it early in the interview. What's up with this YouTube channel?
I started filming some of it, but I'm nervous to put it out. I don't know why. I need to learn to edit too.
Dude, that animation you had done is so sick,
The
honestly.
pumpkin?
Yeah, the pumpkin is so sick. That'll make a dope like entrance, you know, like intro animation.
Yeah. I have two animations. I think I'm going to use because there's two things I want to do. I want to do horror reviews and then I want to talk about my dreams. So I think I'm going to use the pumpkin for like my horror stuff and the other one for my dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And I mean, and honestly, like you're talking to someone who like took a blind leap of faith this year and did things he
Yeah.
never thought he would do before in his life. It takes a lot of like I wouldn't say determination, but it takes a lot of like discipline and like it's like exercising a muscle to get comfortable speaking on camera, you know? Because
Mhm.
like I mean it's still difficult for me sometimes. You know, and it's like once you hit that sweet spot and you're comfortable, then it just starts to flow, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like making music or anything else. The more you do it, like the easier it will get, you know. And I'm excited to see what you have for us in the future.
I think I'm too just nervous to talk about my dreams because like some people I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like I'm crazy. Like my dreams are just like nonsense. And I feel like I'm just crazy. So it's like, is this even something I should talk about? Like, am I like are my predictive dreams real? Like I'm constantly like questioning like if my stuff is real or if I'm just insane. I don't know.
Well, that, and I mean, like, you're a spiritually attuned person. You know what I mean? Like, you have a sensitivity to things, you know?
Yeah.
And like dream interpretation is pretty real. Like I've looked into the science of it, and it's like very interesting. You know, like the subconscious is a gateway through space and time, you know? And like you can see the future, or and what's the old line, maybe if I can see the future I can change it, like
Yeah,
type thing.
I've done that. I really
Like,
have like predicted stuff and then like made sure it didn't happen multiple times.
dude, it's like, have you ever seen, are you a fan of Dragon Ball Z at all?
Uh, no, I didn't really watch it when I was little.
Okay, so here's your homework. It's an old movie. It's like OG, and it's not considered canon anymore for anybody who's watching, because they're gonna jump my shit for even talking about this. But it's called Bardock, Father of Goku, and it's like the origin story, like that sets off, like it's about Goku's dad, and he goes to this planet on a mission with his team for Frieza, and the planet apparently has special psychic energies, right? And he meets one of the guys that he didn't kill, and like so he like they get into a scrap, and the dude like gives him this psychic ability where he can see the future in real time. And so like
Mm,
he witnesses like planet Vegeta getting blown up where all the Saiyans live, and like he sees his son go to Earth and become a great warrior and blah blah, and that sets up Dragon Ball. But
okay.
like that was his line. He was like, if I can see the future, maybe I can change it, and like that's a real thing, like, I mean, I've definitely had some dreams where it's like, damn, like I didn't know how to process them at first, and then like later on, the instance that I had dreamed about was happening, and I was like, I need to
Yeah.
do this. Like it just kind of clicked, like subconsciously, and I was like, this is the decision I need to make right now. It's like I've seen this before.
Yeah. That's the hard part though. Like, I don't know, with having predictive dreams is like it's really hard to know what is predictive dream and what's not. So it's sometimes I wake up and I have a hard time separating like reality from my dreams. And then it's hard. I don't know, it's like you'd think like it would be better when stuff comes true and I know about it, but it just like really I don't know, when stuff comes true and I knew about it before, like it just gave me pre-anxiety to what's gonna give me anxiety. Now it's happening and it's like, well, this is horrible.
this, this is horrible. But also, like, the thing about dreams is the imagery of dreams. Like what you think is actually happening is actually a metaphor, or like an allusion to
Yes.
something else. So it's like, damn, like, this a whole weird psychic science. It's like honestly like super like untapped slash forgotten, because it's like very ancient in a sense. Like
Yeah.
mainly practiced by like native cultures. It's not something that us white people in the age of 2021 are actively doing.
Yeah, I have. Do you want me to tell you a story? I have like that.
Go ahead, this is open. You know the drill.
Like, so I don't know. Barry had this like ex-girlfriend, and she was like being obsessive and stuff. And I had a dream, like at one point, I had a dream that like her and her friend, or like, well, first I was like walking around in like an amusement park with like roller coasters and stuff, and I was with my best friend, and I was with Jabari, and like her and her best friend walked up to me, and they were wearing like cowboy outfits, like or cowgirl outfits. Yeah, so it's really weird. Yeah, like we're in an amusement park. They came up to us and they're wearing cowgirl outfits, like totally weird. Um, and I remember in my dream, I just like yelled at them, like, "Go away! Like, what are y'all doing here? Like, you don't matter. Please leave." uh, yeah, that was my dream. And because I had that dream, like there was like a show coming up and I just felt like weird about it. So I had planned to like after our performances at our show, me and Jabari, that we would like leave and go to an arcade. And then like it gets closer to the show and Jabari was super into like Red Dead, so he was like, I'm gonna dress like a cowboy. And I was like, crazy, because that was like similar to my dream.
Forgive me, Fest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I thought it was super weird. Like, well, actually, I mean, I didn't make the plan to like go somewhere else until after he said he was gonna dress like a cowboy, because I was like, you're gonna dress like a cowboy, and in my dream, your ex-girlfriend and her friend were dressed like cowgirls. So I was like, oh, this has to be something, okay. So yeah, after he said he was gonna dress like a cowboy, I was like, okay, we're going to an arcade after our performance. We're not gonna stick around, and just in case. And that plan totally worked out because I saw in some videos she did show up after, and she wasn't wearing cowgirl stuff, but she was wearing a PlayStation shirt in the video, and we all know that's what he likes. So it was similar to my dream.
If only he could hear right now.
He knows. He believes in me because I've predicted some crazy shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's a real one right there. If I don't know what love, if that ain't love, then I don't know what love is. You know?
We're literally crying today, telling each other we love each other.
Oh, look how cool. That's the coolest thing I've heard today, honestly, because it's so wholesome.
Yeah, literal tears. We're like, I'm still in love with you.
I mean, that's when you know it's real, though. You know, better than the like passing glance. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
eh.
It's been
Eh.
almost 4 years and I'm not tired of him yet, so.
Hey, there you go. You know, everything ages like a fine wine. If it lasts, you know, like I mean, things that last, you know, they aren't easy. You know, that's the reality of it. Whether it's art, relationships, you know, anything, a job, like, I mean, nothing that is easy lasts. You know,
Yeah.
like, so it's one thing we have to be grateful for is, you know, not everything in life that people consider an L is a loss. Sometimes it's a lesson. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How cool we are. We're being all philosophical over here. You
Yeah,
know,
relationships aren't always easy, but I feel like relationships shouldn't be hard either. I don't know. I just feel like you have to want to grow together and communicate.
balance and communication is the key.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a big deal. And like being able to be honest with yourself is the most important part. You know,
Yeah.
because if you can't accept your own feelings or your own things, how are you going to accept something from someone else?
That's very true. I've
That's
also Jabari knows the most secrets out of like that I've ever told anybody ever. So yeah, I feel like we are pretty honest.
so if you split up, you'll have to kill him.
Yeah, definitely. He would have to kill me too. I know all his secrets too.
Ooh. Ooh, spicy. That could make for a good movie. Speaking of like interesting things, you're into like Korean dramas and stuff, right?
Yeah, romance dramas.
Okay, so there's a series on Netflix that just came out. Have you watched Hellbound yet?
I'm going to watch that, yeah.
Fucking incredible.
Is it about like instead of there's a justice system, there's like the demons come get you? That's what it
Well,
looked like to me.
it's because like I guess the justice system failed. So
Yeah.
like quote unquote God sends angels to deliver people's like you're gonna die at this time on like 5 days from now or 30 minutes from now or whatever, and like they, you know, but this organization forms called the New Truth, which basically starts using that to like control people and like make people live in fear. And then like there's people who are like working against it, and like people are just getting fucking murked left and right. It's really crazy. It's a very deep show. 6 episodes. They're all about an hour long. It's insane.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch that. That sounds really interesting. And I like the idea of that.
I mean,
Imagine Imagine if there wasn't real justice system and hell and everything was real and the demons just like dragged you to hell after you sin too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
If
hell
it
is a
was like
very,
that.
if you taking it from like a spiritual perspective versus a religious perspective, let's
Yeah.
just go ahead and put that blanket statement out there. Hell is a very real place, and it's something you don't even have to die to be in. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree with that.
yeah, like I mean, it's really like our mind determines, like when things are good, that is heaven or paradise, but when things are bad, that is hell. And like addiction is the perfect example of hell. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
not never being able to escape something. Like people who smoke meth or like do heroin for like 30 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is what hell really is. Or like being exiled is another version of hell. Like I mean, it's realistically like it's a real the spiritual world and the warfare within is like in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking
But it's
crazy.
crazy because I don't feel like people are as spiritual anymore. Not
No,
really.
and I've noticed that same thing. Like, because now everyone is so wrapped up in this digital world we have right here in our fingertips that they have forgotten what it means to be human again.
Yeah.
And like to understand that there are forces at play that you have no comprehension of most of the time. And like, I'm dead ass serious. Like, like there really are things that go bump in the night, like, and the real monsters in this world are people, you know, and are the ones you
Exactly.
would like least expect. You know what I mean? That's the crazy part.
Yeah, someone told me like recently that some of my music was like try too hard to be like dark and demented, but it's like, nah, that's actually my real life. And life is scary. Life is dark and demented.
Yeah,
Okay.
like if life was all like peaches and cream, like, you know, what would there be to write about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just like I feel like if everything was positive all the time, like, where would we really be? We'd be like in a land of disillusion, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually laying in bed last night thinking about how it's kind of sad that like instead of taking photos to like really like capture like a memory and like keep that like taking photos to like share with your children and like share with your family like even though there's like Facebook and it's like oh this is family oriented like share with your family I feel like it's just more it's not as like appreciated. I feel like
Well,
it's
that
more about like flexing, showing
it's
people
dis
what you're doing.
yeah, it's a major disconnect, it's not
Yeah.
personal anymore. It's like it's very like I wouldn't even say flexing. It's just like massively like ass backwards, like disconnected from the value. Then like social media has like trained our society to not value people anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it shows us all how ugly like we really are sometimes. And like people like fighting over dumb shit and like or like saying like outlandishly horrid things and like and then expecting people to not be mad. Like,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
Yeah, it's not
you know,
sentimental. That's what I was trying to say. The word that I was looking for.
yeah, the appreciation and value is just it's like non-existent anymore. Like, and I feel like that's like a major like downfall for relationships.
Yes,
Like, most people I know that are in happy relationships, they're not active on social media
that's true.
because like, why would you want like people to like covet what you have?
Yeah, exactly.
Or the opposite side is why would you want things that you can't have and then it makes you not satisfied with like what you do have that is actually good for you. You know what I mean? These are
Yeah.
questions I ask myself all the time, you know?
Yeah, that's why like I don't talk about like certain things about my relationship like and I don't really feel like other people should either. It's like I'm never going to like share like my intimate stuff like my sex life and stuff cuz it's like you don't know who's out there like envying you or like might try to like
Or like personal drama
yeah.
even. Like people just air their shit out everywhere. I'm like, God damn. Like, and then they're like, how did you know about that? I'd be like, because you fucking talked about it
Yeah.
to fucking a billion people in the world can see your shit, like
Yeah. Or even if my partner was like saying stuff like about that too, like about private stuff, I wouldn't like that 'cause I
yeah.
don't know. It's just weird.
Relationships are interpersonal. They're between people, not between the populace.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom from Infinity and Hextape. you know?
Yeah. I will say one thing though. It's like, yeah, I think successful couples are not on the internet and stuff, but if a guy will not put you or a girl as if they will not say that they're in a relationship with you on Facebook at least, they're hiding something. And that's a sign. That is a red flag.
I knew you were going to say that.
Like, you don't have to post pictures everywhere, but if someone won't be like, just do that little thing if you want that, like, it shouldn't be like them hiding you. That is a big red flag to me. That's what I tell girls all the time. I'm like, well, have you asked to be in a relationship with him on Facebook? And what did he say?
That's such. I can't believe we're at this point in life where, like, you know what I mean? We have to
That's what we
validate.
confirm with.
We have to confirm and validate like things through fucking Facebook. What the fuck?
It's true though. I told my mom that too. My mom was dating this guy and I told her to do that. I said, ask him if y'all can say you're in a relationship on Facebook and ask him and see what he says. And she was like doubting herself, like, oh no, I'm too old, blah blah blah. Like we don't need to do that. And then she finally did and he was like, oh no, I have like people that I don't want in my business, blah blah blah. And he ended up cheating on her. So I'm just saying I know people that have personally, my mom, gone through bad stuff like that.
I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, the internet is a dark place. Like, people often forget, like, you don't know what's on the other side of that screen. You are casting information out there and you don't know who's using it for what,
Yeah.
you know? So, like, with anything, you got to keep your mind right, you know?
People still catfish now too.
God, it's terrible. What kind of a world are we fucking living in?
Have you never
You know?
catfished ever, even when you were a teenager?
Nah, because I've always been ugly. So, like, I'd rather people just see how ugly I am. Like,
I catfished someone one time. One time when I was like 14. But that's it. That's it.
I mean, I don't knock people for doing it, but like me, I'm very, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean?
Well, I just did it to find out an answer. I was just trying to find out an answer to something, and then as soon as like I got the person comfortable enough to tell me the answer of what I wanted to know, I quit. So it was really just like I was trying to do some detective work.
Detective Hextape.
Yeah. I'm good at being a
Hextape, Spirit
detective.
Detective. You know?
Yeah.
That's such a great show, Yu Yu Hakusho, Spirit Detective.
That sounds so familiar, but I don't know if I've seen
One
it.
of the greatest animes of all time. Speaking of animes, Netflix just released the Cowboy Bebop live action.
Did you look at it?
I watched the first episode. The episodes are like an hour long, and they're like combining multiple episodes of the anime together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so to point. Like, it's just like the fucking anime, and like they did a really good job with it so far.
You like
Like,
it?
yeah, like I think it's great. Like,
I've never seen Cowboy Bebop.
what? Dude,
I know.
Spike is the man, dude. Like,
Jabari's gonna make me watch it.
dude, you got to watch the anime before you watch the other one. Just saying.
Okay.
And it's good. It's short. Like, I mean, it's not like 1,000 episodes. It's like something you can
Good.
knock out in a couple days. But like, it's good. And I mean, it's great story, great character development, like iconic soundtrack, dude. Like, so
Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
yeah,
We did watch a little bit of the live action too. So we watched the first episode of Cowboy Bebop, and then we watched the first episode of the live action.
pretty good.
But
Pretty good. That's all I can say. It's pretty good. you know. But yeah, well, with all that being said, it has been an absolute pleasure. We've been all over the place talking about all kinds of crazy shit. And that's what I'm here for. Like, like the more variety of topical things to discuss that we have, the better we are, and the better of a time everyone gets to have. For those of you who aren't familiar with Miss Hextape, what are the handles that you can find her at?
So on Twitter, it's Hextape Official. And then on Instagram, it's BBHex, Baby Hex, like BBYHEX. And that's all I really use. That's all I want to link. And
Yeah,
then
that's
I
the
have
important.
the SoundCloud like Hextape, so it's like soundcloud.com/hextape. I got
And
it. So
Spotify.
yeah, and Spotify. And
Yeah,
Apple and
yeah.
TikTok. Make a TikTok, please.
Make a TikTok and become a part of an artificial intelligence that will take over the world. But yeah, so
Please.
if y'all go follow Hextape, y'all better come correct or I'll beat your ass up. So,
Thank you.
hell yeah. Well, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, goodbye.